Microsoft's so silly. Okay. How the hell do you get this thing to look at you the right way? Okay. Hello everyone, it's Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo here with Ben for another Bensday and with Batgirl and Ben. Sorry about my voice today and my pudgy cheeks. How are you doing, Ben?
I'm not too bad. And everybody out there, I want to tell you, I said, hey, why don't we skip a week until you feel better? And she said, no, we absolutely have to give away that Vanguard. So Nikki here has your back, community.
Yeah, well, I have to take care of my community. They take such great care of me, so I think it's the right thing to do. It's only 15 or 20 minutes that we sit here and talk, and I think it gives a really good insight into the game for the people that don't get to ask the questions because they're not subscribers or don't have the opportunity to log into the Reverse the Verse and try to get through that nightmare of a chat roll. Yeah. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we've gave away 2 starter ships already, and this week we're going to give away another one, and that one is going to go to Ferriolysis. So Ferriolysis, you send me to the starcitizenaa@gmail.com your contact information that matches the same email address you used to create your backer ID on the RSI website, and Ben will attribute the starter package to you. Off camera, which you... Okay, sorry. What were you going to say, Ben?
Oh, no, I was saying absolutely, yeah, I'll take care of it.
Good. And off camera, before I called Ben, I recorded, which you'll be seeing when I do put this live. I ran the random name picker, and George Sabel, you have won the Vanguard. That was the prize for the 2,500 subscriber giveaway contest that we had. Thank you so much for participating, for subscribing, and for supporting the show. Ben, that's a little bit bigger of a ship. Do you want anything different or the same way?
No, same process.
Same process? So you send me the contact email that you have that matches the email that is on your account, and we'll have that attributed to you. One thing about these packages are that they are not transferable. If you melt them, they get $0 cash back for them. But you can cross-chassis upgrade and upgrade them to new variants as those variants are released. The Vanguard's going to come in very handy in today's topic that I'm going to bring up with you. I'm going to hit you with a couple of questions about the Scythe and the Vanduul bomber. Right. Okay? First thing is, the Scythe came out just after the main, like the sale of the Scythe, just after the main or the initial fundraising campaign, correct? The crowdfunding campaign?
That's right. Yeah, it was back during the original campaign.
Now, the original idea behind it is that, like the Idris M, it was supposed to be a one-time sale, and that was it.
Yeah.
Now, there are other ways to get scythes in the game, but they're going to be rare and very difficult, correct?
I don't know about rare, because there's going to be a lot of them out there. It's going to be difficult to actually capture one, but there'll be plenty of opportunities.
Okay. So what lore in the game, which it doesn't really matter what lore in the game, the Scythe is an incredible ship, and people deserve to get one, but what lore supports, like, civilians having a Scythe?
Because there are... I mean, it's very much a, Texas style, come and take it sort of a thing. It's out there. They're raiding the frontiers. It's you guys have the opportunity to, of course it would make sense that you'll be able to go out there and, we expect people to be shooting them down, protecting the frontier. And if they can disable them and capture them, it's a trophy ship, a prize of war.
So my guess is, because of the lore that just got released by Lisa Ohanian and, by the actual Scythe article that was up there last Friday, if I capture one, my next goal is to transport that ship to Anvil Aerospace where they could do the modifications for a boatload of UEC, I take it?
I don't know if we'll go into that much granularity in the actual game. I think it may just be assumed. We'll see. We'll see what we do with that.
Okay, I think that would be cool. I mean, I know that we don't want to make it so difficult for people, but I like the idea of capturing it and then having to bring it somewhere to get it modified for me to fly, because that supports the lore in the game. And I know it's over the top. I really do. But
I think it's probably more going to be you take it to your local chop shop and they do it. It's probably not you have to bring this to a specific company.
But would that be as good as one that Anvil Aerospace modified?
Yeah, I think it's probably a stock system. They can install it. It's like installing a stereo.
Or do we have to wait for Chris to hone in on that one?
We'll see.
Because it might change with him, right?
Everything might change.
Yeah. So the Vanguard bomber is the next ship that we got to see. I mean, the Glaive is just a kind of a variant of the Scythe, kind of, sort of, right? So
yeah, it's kind of a leader variant of the Scythe.
Okay, so this is the latest version of his ship, the Vanguard bomber. Does it have a name?
Void. It's the Void bomber.
Void bomber.
For the Vanguard ships, they're all reporting names, similar to the NATO reporting names for a fighter. So that's what we call it. I'm sure the Vanguard have some word for their ships too.
That we wouldn't be able to pronounce with our single mouth. No. So is this the Vanguard answer to the Retaliator bomber?
It's a fair sight bigger than the Retaliator. This is kind of a cross between a Retaliator and a boarding ship, because the Vanguard also use the Void bomber for they can swap the torpedo pods for these kind of insertion pods for boarding operations. So expect to see that show up quite a bit in Squadron 42.
Okay. Is this a ship that you may in the future offer to backers as a purchase?
Potentially, but we're not in a hurry. No, it has to make sense in the universe whenever we sell something.
That does make sense to me. And is this like a perfect reason for somebody to pick up a Vanguard Vanguard long-range fighter the next time they're up for sale?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the duties of the Vanguard would be intercepting bombers like this before they get within range of capital ships.
Okay. I like the idea of the lore that was in there. Was that something from Will or David, or did you put that together?
It was a combined effort.
Yeah. Pretty cool. All right, we're going to go into some questions. I'm going to answer some from last week. I botched Reaper's question last week, and what he was asking is that right now he wants to know how sound is going to be handled in the game. And this is his question. As it stands now, the sounds that we have are synthetic external sound generated by the ship, which is cool, but I've noticed that when I EVA, I can still hear external sounds. I would suggest that once outside your ship, in a vacuum, all we could hear are comms and breathing. Think about finding a derelict ship, and at first, there would be no sound on, only comms and breathing, but when power is restored, we start to hear sounds around us, creaking hull, odd banging around, and maybe, he's asking for more dynamic sound in the game. Is that something you foresee coming in the future?
I think we answered this one last week.
But we answered part A. Part B wasn't answered, which is we had to go deep into it.
I mean, I think essentially what he's asking is, are you going to have a play when you go out into space? Is there ever going to be a time where you don't have sound? Yeah. And the answer is not. That's not the plan, right?
No,
now.
I think it's different. I think what he's asking is that are there going to be these? Are the sounds going to change as you move? Like right now, they're not, but it's not fair because the game's not done. Like the sound that you hear in the ship is the same sound you hear after you eject. Is that going to be what happens in the game?
Well, I think what he's imagining is, it's kind of a common thing for every sort of fictional universe to say, everybody's, there's no sound in space. You wouldn't hear space combat. And then the kind of lore masters come back to, oh no, the computer in this ship simulates what the sound is like. And he's kind of banking on that being more of a gameplay element instead of just kind of the industry standard lore explanation for why you hear sound.
Right. It's
a cool idea to go outside of the ship in EVA and not hear sounds. I'd like to try it out, but I wouldn't want to commit to it. And the same for things growing up. Things sound coming back as a ship goes back online.
Right.
And they're cool things. I'd have to try them. My suspicion is that they will come off as cool once and incredibly frustrating every time after that. So it's definitely something we'll look at. It's something that our BWise system lets us test prototype pretty rapidly. But if I had to bet, I would say pretty much just normal sound in every situation.
Okay.
Except something crazy, like if you decide to leave your ship without a helmet. It's probably lack of sound is the least of your worries.
Lack of oxygen. Lightspeed. A while ago, Ben mentioned the possibility of us being able to melt Voyager direct purchases for UEC the same way we can melt pledge purchases. Has there been any more discussion on this? This person has quite a few things that they bought and got extras of by buying packages and wants to know if they would have that option at a later date.
We're still looking at it. There are technical and business reasons not to do it, but we'd like to find a way. So it's still in the wings.
So that's something that you have to work with over at, not Behavior, but the people that do the website.
Turbulent and so on, yeah.
Turbulent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Once the preview goes live, when players are doing missions or doing esports in Arena Commander or Space Marine, will people be able to name their groups, such as something like Shank's Pasters?
Name what would you custom name a group? Sorry.
Well, Renegade Premium Shank. The big story about Premium Shank in our organization is that we used to say when we bought, whenever there was a ship sale, it was time for ramen noodles, and then Shank started talking about Shank's Space Paste. You can eat it, you could use it to fix your ship, you could plug a hole, So Shank is looking for, can we name the groups like the esports teams that we have with a specific name? Like if 10 of them,
I mean, that's essentially what the organization system is.
But within our org, like we might have a couple of groups that are going into the arena.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be a subgroups will be something as organizations evolve.
So we could field multiple teams with different names in our organization that might be playing in Star Marine in the big space arena.
For sure.
Okay. Pappy Boyington, will the Aegis Vanguard variants have cargo capacity?
Not ready to release that yet.
Okay. And is the Vanguard capable to land on larger carriers?
Larger carriers, yes, not escort carriers.
So we renamed the Panther again, or is it still the Panther?
Don't know anymore. It was the Panther for quite a while, at least.
What's it now?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's different now.
Icarus at one point, it changes a lot. I think you'll see that with a lot of the squadron ships.
Is it the Banshee?
No, it's not the Banshee.
All right, that's fine. It changes into something that makes sense in the game, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be on the bigger carriers, not the escort carriers that we might see early on. All right, that's last week's questions, and we're going to go to this week's questions, which are just a couple. The first one is going to be from Mike Johnson. I would like to get clarification from Ben whether or not we will be able to hire NPC wingmen and crew members for Star Citizen PU. Evidently, when it was asked before, there wasn't a real answer to it. I think the answer to this, you said, yeah, I don't see any reason why not, but people on Ask the Devs had just said this might not be possible. Do you know what I'm saying?
Whoever's saying you can't hire NPCs in Star Citizen is just wrong. It's part of the game design.
Oh, they're saying when it comes out, it might be a little bit later. I think what they were talking about was not wingmen. They were talking about NPCs to man the stations in your ship at first. Might be coming a little bit later. That's when I went back and listened to that. Yeah.
I think it's a combination of two things. Yes, we are doing that. Yeah. But no, I can't tell you what Star Citizen is going to look like at whatever one particular person might consider really. It's definitely something that's coming with the finished world.
Okay.
So, but yes, it's too difficult to predict exactly what they mean by release, really. Will it be in the PU pre-alpha later this year? Probably, maybe. Will it be there when the game is done? Absolutely.
Good. All right. And we're going to have one more question, which is, I was wondering if they would make ships with different types of seats. For example, maybe a race considers the right way to sit in a ship like riding a light cycle in Tron. So different types. So I guess they're looking at like the Mustang variant, and the Mustang kind of feels like a motorcycle when you're in there. So do you foresee different types of seats in the ships as time goes on?
Oh, for sure. Like we were looking at the Dragonfly now, and it'll be more like a motorcycle you sit on than it will be a spaceship you climb into.
So the Dragonfly wasn't voted on, but we're making it anyway.
Yeah, we like it. We're working it out.
And that's going to be the Drake starter ship.
We'll see. It might be a sub-starter ship, something more along the lines of the Merlin, but still early days on that.
Okay. Now, upcoming, you said that we would be seeing the passenger liner in the near future. Is that within the next few weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. So people should start getting their wallets and purses ready for another ship sale.
Sooner. Yeah, not too distant future.
Do you have a price range for the ship yet?
Not yet. We'll announce the price a week out.
All right. If I was throwing a dartboard, would I be throwing it at the 100s, 200s, or 300s?
I can't say.
Okay. Well, people would like to know so they know how much food they could buy this month,
I would say that roll-wise, and this is not a suggestion of its final specs, which is what we use to base the price on, it is between the Constellation Phoenix and the 890 Joe.
Oh, God. All right. So that's 450 to 650. That's a big number.
We'll see.
That's a big number.
But
all right, that's
more
good.
details soon.
Gotta like that. All right, Ben. Sorry to put you on the spot with that last one. Didn't mean to.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, and I know that you're hopefully headed off to E3 this week. What is the one thing that you're most anxious to see when you get there?
Even if it was
King's Quest, the Odd Gentleman's King's Quest relaunch. Very, very excited about that. I was a huge fan of the old Sierra games back in the day, and everything I'm hearing from people who got a chance to look at it is just positive. It respects the old games, but is still modern. Really looking forward to that.
That was a Kickstarter, right? I think that's one of the ones I backed. Right?
No, this was kind of a random surprise for Activision. About 6 months ago, they said they're going to revive the Sierra brand, and they were bringing in smaller devs to bring back the old IP. So I hope it means more Space Quest.
Good. Did they buy Sierra Online?
They did years ago, and it just faded away. So they have all the IPs except Leisure Suit there, which they sold off to Codemasters, and then Codemasters sold to somebody else, and somebody else. So who knows what. But they've got all the other old Sierra IPs.
Well, that's good. I hope to see Space Quest. I hope to see King's Quest when it comes out. All right, you enjoy yourself, and we will be back again next week. No big announcements this week, so I guess if we have a ship sale, it's either next week or the week after. Everyone is asking about PTU. I refuse to ask that question here because I know the answer is when it's ready, correct?
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
All right, that's about 5 questions from different people that I didn't do today. Ben, thank you so much for joining us. And for you winners of the starter ships and the Vanguard contest, congratulations. Make sure you get me your email, as Ben will be out later in the week. And if I can get it to him today or tomorrow, then you could possibly have it in the near future. All right, Ben, thank you very much. You have a great day.
Sure thing.
All right. And
you too.
Thanks. With that said, you all be safe out there. And I'll talk to you soon. Out of breath.